Yo, how's it going, you guys? It's Marcus Scraper, and in this update, we're talking about the S&P 500, Tesla stock, and Palantir stock as well. And also, as a follow-up to our last update, we're also going to talk about this idea about dodging a market correction, a market crash, reasons why not and why too. And so in this update, to follow on that, we talked about that we like to take profits on our medium-term positions when we go to the top of this channel here and then kind of buy as we go closer to the bottom of this channel here or even to the midpoint of this channel here. So that's something we've been talking about. Another thing, another reason why I don't really just try to dodge a market correction is because I like to sell options. It's a huge part of my strategy. And so basically, when I sell covered calls, that's a bearish strategy. I continue to profit along the way as stocks actually go down. So that's another reason why I like to hold my positions and even sell options when we're in a bearish trend as well. So we can see here in our last update, we talked about basically, so in our last update, we were right here. And we talked about these two candles in particular and how they were bouncing off the 100 period moving average. So that is interesting. And what we talked about in that update is that, first of all, we expect the next day, and this was based on some things we looked in the past. We looked at basically other areas in the charts that look like this area right here and what to expect. And from that, we talked about that we were in the short term more bullish and we expect us to go up and bounce again on the 20 period moving average. Whether we're going to go to the upside or the downside, we're still unsure about and don't have much of a bias on that yet. But we also talked about this right here, this squiggly right here. This was from our last update. We thought that the next candle literally would be a close below the 100 period moving average, followed by then a recovery to the upside. And is that what we're seeing right now? That looks like, in terms of the candle so far, at least on Friday, the day is not over. Keep in mind, we still have another hour to go as of this recording. However, it's looking kind of bullish. This is looking like a bullish candle at the moment here, a bullish reversal candle to the upside. One other interesting thing that's happening here is that we're seeing this 20 period moving average here start to go down, which maybe eventually it converges with our channel here, and maybe we eventually test around the channel and around that 20 period moving average. And then again, we're going to see whether we're going to go to the upside or to the downside. So stay tuned and I'll formulate my bias once we get to that area. Let's take a look at Tesla stock over here. Tesla stock, we're getting a close to a test to the downside here. We're still expecting a grind higher. So we'll be watching Tesla stock. Not much to talk about here. Let's look at Palantir stock. So with Palantir, I drew these two lines over here. Some interesting things that are going on here is that, first of all, and if you're following me on StockTwits, you would have seen that I drew this line to the downside here. I was following this line, watching this line, and I was buying options as we hit this line. And you can watch my messages over there if you're interested in that. And then today I drew this line on the upside because we have this channel that we're trading within, it seems like. And this is kind of interesting. We're trading in this channel, and you guys know that I'm expecting, higher highs and higher lows. Now, this is giving me a perspective of what to kind of expect next. Like, once we continue to do this pattern here, is there a point where we would expect a significant move to the upside? When is that point? Or are we expecting a move to the downside? Because we are doing this pattern here exactly like we expected. Because we saw this pattern here to the downside, and we expected a kind of a mirror, except to the upside, right? That's kind of what we've been expecting. Now let's take a look at these patterns of the past. We can see here a move to the upside, one move to the upside, two moves to the upside, and then on the third move, we broke out, okay? Over here, we're going to the downside here. One move to the downside, two moves to the downside, and then basically on the third move, we went down. Keeping in mind, we had a little move over here as well, right? So this is making me think that we could expect something like this. We have a move to the upside, that's one. A second move to the upside, that's two. And now on this third move to the upside, well, either we can just break out. But because keeping this in mind here, I think it's very likely we kind of have another little blip here, followed by that breakout to the upside. So that's what I'm watching here in terms of what I'm kind of expecting here for a Palantir. We want to be holding certain levels, of course, before certain patterns are invalidated. So we're watching that. Basically, we're watching this channel, but also to invalidate this pattern, really, we'd have to be making a lower low, then back here. Well, I hope you guys got some value from this content. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.